y'all, welcome back to the channel. It's been a busy couple of days over here in the shop, and we're trying to get some things done for the Bootleggers Ball group build, getting a few things taken care of. I haven't really gotten a lot done with the car, mostly just started working on the interior. If you can kind of get a look here just a little bit. I put some floor mats in and just the basic detailing on the inside. Still not quite finished with it yet, but we're going to try to keep it about as stock looking as we can. I've spent the majority of the time here in the last few days working on the diorama that it sits on. Started off just having a little bit of an area to go with the model for the build and all, and as I was working on it, it began to take on a life of its own, and it just keeps getting a little bit more and more as we go along. I've decided I'm going to keep that a surprise until the actual reveal of everything when it's done. So I really don't have a lot to report on the car build itself, but today we're going to go RC, and this is going to be something that I think the scale model guys might get into just as well. So we're going to show it off, but first the die cast of the day, so hang on. Okay, here's the die cast of the day, and it is, since we're talking about race cars and RC today and all, I figured this might be the appropriate one. This is my Dale Earnhardt Jr. Collector's Edition from Revell. It is actually, if you take a look at it here, this is an actual adult collectible because they have the Budweiser logo on here instead of his name for the kids. But here it is. It's never been opened. I've probably had this about 20 plus years. And it's been on the shelf ever since. But we're going to open this today just to see what this is all about. So bear with me for a second. Here it is. It comes in a case. It's on here fully detailed. Let's see what else we've got. Look at that. It opens up too. All right. So I have open. Look at that. Alright, so it's got the full engine, the hood opens, interior has been detailed on this. It actually has a roll cage inside of it, if you can see right there. And this is just a really cool detailed die cast car. Right here, one of the few race cars that I've got in my collection. Most everything I have are muscle cars, but we do have the oddball one ever so often that I've got put in here. And this is it. The die cast of the day, the Revell Adult Collector Budweiser number 8 stock car for Dale Earnhardt Jr. Alright, back to our subject. Okay guys, we're back and we're going to be talking RC today, and today's feature is going to be these 1/18 scale RC cars made by One RC Company. And I think that these are some really neat little cars here because they're 1/18 scale, so they are kind of on the small side. But the good thing about these cars is that this company actually went with realism versus what most RC cars are built like and run nowadays. And just to give you an idea how it is, this is the way they come. It has a full roll cage on the inside, independent front suspension on this particular one right here. It has a solid rear axle in the back of it, but it has radius rods and a panhard bar that's on the inside that runs and floats the rear end just like a real one. These are kind of more like a spec racer. There's not too much you can really do to these. You can get different tires for them. You can get different springs for the shocks, and most everything is just set up from there. The gearing in these are actually fixed. It has an 8500 kV brushless motor in it that comes with the car. Fully programmable speed control on the inside, so you can adjust the motor timing, the acceleration rate, the brakes, all of that goes in the cars. And the way that they design these cars is all of the weight items that would be in a real car are located in the same positions on these. For example, the servo in the front where the steering is, the weight of that on the front is where the engine would be. The battery and speed control runs right down the center line of it along with the motor and rear end, so everything stays in line. They even put the receiver back here where the fuel tank would be on the car. So all of the weight is where it needs to be on it. Now this one here, I do have a transponder in here for lap count for racing, but I don't really race anymore. But these are so neat that I decided to keep these cars just for the fact that they are so realistic as far as the way that they're built. Not a lot you can do to these, but the racing on these was a lot of fun, and it's more realistic than just your typical RC cars that you run. Drawbacks to these is that if you ever needed to work on one of them, it's a real pain to try to do anything to, because you have so many screws that you have to take out of it just to remove the body off of here. But there's really not a lot that you need to do to one of these, but just general maintenance on them. But the realism is something else. Here, this one is a little bit different. This is also a 1RC, but this is the sprint car. It has the solid front axle just like a real one that's inside here. It's got the steering in the back here where the steering box is, running a pitman arm up to the front of it right here. And it is very realistic in the way that it's laid out. The paint job on this, or the decal job that I've done, I started with just a solid blue car and did all the decal work on the Cricket. Everything that's on here. By the way, this is the 2019 car of Rico Abreu. Congratulations to him. He just won his first title this year with the Kubota High Limit Series. And anyway, this is the tribute that I had done to this car a little while back on here, and I think I've got an idea what I'm going to do with that sprint car model that I've got. I'll probably do an updated current version of his car. But anyway, this is the sprint car. It is built exactly the same way. Radius rods in the back of it with a panhard bar. Same type of motor that's in it. Runs off the same battery packs on here. But the realism, the way they built it with the full roll cage, of course, you know, they have a driver figure inside of it, and just the way the suspension is put together on this car really makes it a neat little showpiece, even if you don't run them. But in fact, this particular car I have never driven before. I acquired it in a trade and then turned around and did all of the decal work and everything on it and got everything all done up for here. But these are some really cool little cars right here, even if you don't race, just for display purposes or just taking them out and playing with them a little bit. Like I said, they are 1/18 scale, so they're not as versatile, I guess you could say. You don't really take these out and go running them out on a rough surface just because they are so small. But the realism is well worth it for these. And they do come with a nice, decent transmitter. It is made by FlySky. It has all of your basic settings that goes on the back of this. Servo reversing switches, your trims, your dual rate for your steering is on here. And they're not too bad of a radio that comes with the car. But I have run better. They're not too bad of a little machine right here, and I've been pretty happy with it as far as what I've gotten here, and just the realism in these things are worth it, in my opinion. But anyway, that is the breakdown of this. Oh, and decals on this I did with the Cricket vinyl cutter. These little small contingency sponsors, what I did, I took a picture of everything and then loaded it into the computer and cut every single decal out and loaded it into Cricut. And now I can take these and call up a whole sheet of them and stick the vinyl, printable vinyl into the printer and then run it through the Cricut, and it will cut each individual one out on the car. So you can use this for small stuff here on this, and it makes it a lot easier to do your vinyl work and your decals. I wouldn't suggest printable vinyl to use for a scale model because it is kind of thick and I don't think it would work. But Amazon actually sells water slide paper that will feed into a printer, an inkjet printer, and you can make your own decals if you're doing scale models with that. So I know it was a subject that was brought up one night on the automotive model cars live talk that was up, but that's one of the things that you can use for it. Other than that, all the rest of this stuff, every decal on this car was done on a Cricut vinyl cutter. So anyway, there they are. 1RC is the brand of it, and these are some awesome little cars if you're looking into realism versus performance-wise. But believe me, they are fully adjustable on here, and if you ever got into one of these and decided you wanted to go racing, it's worth it because these guys are very realistic when it comes down to racing on here. So anyway, that's it. The 1RC asphalt late model car, or asphalt modified car, and then my sprint car. This company makes about 7 or 8 different cars here, but they're all circle trackers, and they have all different styles and stuff. So that's one thing you might want to check out sometime here. But anyway, that's our subject matter for today. Alright, y'all, well, that's it for today, and next video we're going to get a little bit back into the bootlegger's ball build, and we'll see how much progress we've made on that. But until next video, y'all be good.